Alright, so our last video of the day is one we got a request for just the other day, and one I've been waiting to do a little while for anyway. It is the leather versus synthetic in the adiZeros. I'm going to use the black-white electricity colorway because we have them both handy right here. So yeah, how buff can I get? This one's for you. This one, it's pretty simple stuff. I'm going to just give you guys some similarities, some differences, and kind of let you decide for yourselves from there, you know, which one you think is better or not. But we'll start, first of all, with obviously the leather's on the left, synthetic is on the right. The leather one, you can see just by looking at it, obviously there's a lot more supporting the upper on this one than there is on the leather. The leather, you can see it just kind of folds over. It looks kind of, almost looks like a narrower shoe. It is not, so don't worry about that. It's not a narrower shoe. It is definitely... It stretches quite nicely to fit your foot. This Galeo leather upper has decent stretch to it. Not a lot. It's not as much as a kangaroo or a full grain leather, but the Galeo is really thin and really light. That's kind of the idea behind it. So they're willing to give up a little bit of stretch for that. So I don't blame them either. But stitching is really solid. Actually, if I had to pick between the two of them, which one was more durable, I'd probably say the leather. The reason for that being simply because with the synthetics, we've had some problems with people coming back and, you know, coming in with holes right here on this little seam. You can see it right where the upper meets the outsole, that little veneer right there. Right there on the upper, we've had some punctures and some rips right through there. Generally, the topmost part of the shoe, we don't have too many problems with, like right up here. We don't have any rips, we don't have any tears there or anything like that, but obviously... any more than zero is more than the leather. We haven't had any problems with ripping or tearing with the leather, so obviously it's a tough shoe. The other thing is the only place we've really had any problem with the leather adiZeros, and it goes for leather and synthetic, is we've had the upper come away from the outsole a good deal. It usually doesn't take very long, long enough that you can get a season or two out of them, but actually 2 might be stretching it, but you can definitely get a solid season out of them, no question. But when it starts to go, that's what you're going to see happen, just like with most cleats. You'll see the upper here, you'll see right along this seam, the outsoles start to tear away, which is, you know, that's pretty much how it works for cleats. You know, once you start to wear through them, that's what happens, but some wear through quicker than others. The only other thing we've really had any complaints about actually goes for both shoes too. This stud right here, when you're playing on synthetic surfaces, this stud is not built to be as durable, or at least it wasn't before. These new colorways that have come out for spring, they've all got a reinforced front stud on the forefoot here, so you're starting to find that hybrid they made, the firm ground, hard ground hybrid, is starting to get phased out a little bit because they rebuilt that forefoot stud, so a lot less concern on that one. Other than that, big differences are in the leather. You can see there's not a lot of support in the upper, whereas in the synthetic, if you take a look right here, you'll see all that TPU ribbing all the way down the shoe. That stuff right up there just helps the synthetic keep its shape. It also helps you, when you get stepped on, it doesn't hurt quite as bad through here and through here, but the tongue is still a liability. You can still get some pretty nasty bruises there. Fit-wise, they're both very similar. Obviously, this one you need to stretch to really work into, so breaking it in is, you know, obviously a big thing. But between the two of them, it is similar. This one fits smaller only because of the stretch, so if you wear a 9, this one's real true to size, truthfully. It's very true to size, so if you wear a 9, you're ordering a 9 in this shoe right here. However, if you wear a 9, you can fit into an 8.5 right here if you prefer that glove fit. You're going to get an 8.5 in this one right here because they fit a little bit big. But the reason they fit a little bit big is because if you can see your toe pointing through the top right here, if you see a little bulge with your toe right here, you're talking blisters. And they're not bad. I mean, obviously blisters kind of come with the territory, but nevertheless on this one you can expect that. If you see your little toe kind of making a little swell right here, you're going to expect you're going to get some chafing there. So be mindful of that. Other than that, outsoles are exactly the same. Nothing's different about either one. They're all molded in the same places. All the studs are hollow on both models, leather and synthetic, so the outsole doesn't really make too much of a difference. They're both also really light, as you know. The traction outsole, you can see nothing's different. And aside from that, the only other real difference is On the heel on this one, you've still got that same synthetic material right on here, just like you do. This one's really a bit more plasticky. It's got a little bit more texture to it than the other one does. As I say before, guys, both of them go with the Comfort sock liner when you're training, and go with the ultralight sock liner for game time. It really does make a big difference. That's for both shoes as well. Other than that, you kind of choose for yourself. Basically, the leather one tends to be a little bit more durable, whereas the synthetic one is a little bit lighter. That's really the biggest difference. It's only a fifth of an ounce, but still, you know, it's noticeable when you're wearing the two of them. So, yeah, like I said, whichever one you guys, you know, whichever you need it for, kind of makes the most sense. So, there are your similarities, there are your differences. Which one's better is up to you.